Hello and welcome to what will be our final episode of our Japan campaign. This is an episode where it's going to effectively be an epilogue for the series. We're going to look at everything that we can look at. We're going to look at religion, culture, our dynasty tree, all of that sort of stuff. Then, once we've looked at everything that we're going to look at, we're going to advance time forward a little bit and see how things have changed. Then we'll advance time forward a little bit more, then a little bit more, then a little bit more, and I'm aiming to go about 100 years forward, I think. It really depends on what happens within the game, as in, if it's still interesting, we'll keep going. If it's not interesting, we won't. But I think 100 years gives us a rough idea about how our changes will have impacted the world. It will give a chance for things to spread, like our new religion is probably going to spread around a little bit. It'll give us a chance to see how the new militaristic Japan potentially expands. Does it become China? There's every possibility that it does. In fact, it's not unlikely at all. I mean, there's a really easy place here where you could potentially declare some wars. There's a place up here where you could potentially declare some wars. I mean, this is all part of this kingdom, so they could declare, go up here, go down here, get Korea, get China. I mean, it's entirely possible. And, yeah, we're going to have a look and basically just make some predictions as we go through the map. So, let's start with something that someone from the comments asked for, which was, could we have a look at the conquerors? And I think this is worth looking at, even though this isn't something that we will directly have had an impact on, or something that will directly impact Japan right now. It will give us an idea about who the major players are likely going to be in, say, 50 years' time. So, we have Sao here, who are completely surrounded by Kanem, who do appear to be significantly stronger. So I don't reckon they're going to do anything. We have Yorubaland, who are currently attacking people. They're probably going to expand into all sorts of places over here. We have Yugra. Now Yugra, I could see them expanding quite a lot, although they are losing a war to a confederation, so maybe they're hemmed in by people who are too strong, maybe? Potentially. Anyway, so we have Yugra. And then we have the Lihu Shiweis, which are all the way up here and must be a new conqueror because they haven't really expanded very far. But yeah, we'll see. Although there's two different Shiweis, I guess it's the cultural name. But anyway, yeah, those are the current conquerors on the map. Let's have a look at some other things. Let's now have a look at our culture. So let's go to Izumo culture here. Where are we? Izumo culture. Actually, I do have a piece of paper and a pen ready, and then I will write down some of the statistics, and we'll see, you know, just how far things change. So, we currently have, in the Izumo culture, 1,260 people. Okay? 1,260. Let's have a look at some other stuff here. Let's now say how many people are Wichito. Wow, that's a lot. That is a huge amount of people who are Wichito, which I've been told is probably not correct, but we already knew that going in. We accepted it. It was part of our decision to do it, was that there wasn't really a perfect correct name, so yeah, that's quite a lot of people. Okay, at least given that our culture has been around significantly longer. Okay. Let's have a look at Shintoism as well. Wow. Okay, so if you look at Shintoism, it's actually a high percentage of everyone who's Shinto is also Wichito. Let's look at that. Oh, actually, that's only with... no, that's everything. I thought that was only within our realm for a second, but no, that's everything. So yeah, there's only 400 people who are any other variant of Shinto. That's interesting, although I guess we had taken over the Shinto lands, so it does actually make a lot of sense now that you think about it. Okay, and then how many people are Miyako? 90. Okay, so Miyako, 90. Okay. Also, let's just do another one in here. Let's go for Landed rulers, because that's what we care about. There's 16 landed rulers. So if I do landed, we have 16 of those. Okay. With there being, I think, only one person who isn't a count. Yeah, there's only us who isn't a count. Okay, cool. Let's clear that out. Clear that out. And let's have a look at some of the things on the map here. So, religion-wise, Wichita is everywhere. It is absolutely everywhere. But you can see there's still some original Shinto around here. Did we actually convert everything? I assume we didn't, because we had... yeah, we had one that we didn't convert. That was it. Yeah, because we had a couple of zealots. Cool. Culture. Izumo is pretty much just in the same area it started in, but it has expanded a little bit. It's a little bit more expanded than it was initially. Houses. We have Miyako, but... And I think they added this in probably the All Under Heaven patch, because I definitely didn't see it before then. They now have the ability for you to go one level deeper. And we can see all the other houses. Not that it helps us too much, because there's so many of them all over, but we have Fujinami here. Do we have Hoki anywhere? Yeah, there's Hoki. Yeah, so there are a few that we recognize from our playthrough. Alright, cool. What other map modes do we have? We have development map mode. So we're currently sitting at... I go back to my notes just so that we have that written. Development, we have 31 here. That's not our capital anymore. Actually, our capital's at 34. Let's go 31, 34. Awesome. And we're comparing that to these guys. So these guys are on like 46. They're about 44, 43. So I'm going to say that 46 is the highest, right, in the world. So I'd be interested to see whether, if just a few more years advancing, the AI manages to get above that. Okay, county control doesn't really matter, but there you go. Income's going to be pretty much like whatever, like very changeable. You can kind of see how much some things are making you. But if we have a look at like color-wise, it's kind of where you expect it to be. Like, it's built up, so it makes more money. Like, this is built up, it makes more money. This is built up, it makes more money. This is not built up, it does not make much money. There are no buildings, it makes no money. Like, it is not built up, doesn't make much money. It's all kind of fairly straightforward there. Next, what have we got? Diplomatic relations, not in any way useful or interesting. Governments, I guess. Yeah, so you can see it's all pretty much Soryo here. Meritocratic, Celestial, Tribal, Nomadic, Mandala, Wanua. Okay, yeah, you can see. All fairly standard for this time in the game. Court languages. So Japonic is our court language. Chinese is spreading, but is not by any means like the dominant language, because we also have Greek here, we have some Arabic, and we have a huge amount of High German, and then yeah, some Godelic here. Right, what else do we have in terms of map mode? Landless rulers just makes the game lag, so we're not going to do that. There's blocks and confederations. I guess we could see how strong our block is. So if I go, so there is a Miyako block, and it's got 23,000 troops in it. So I guess I'll say block 23k. Awesome. Oh, and there's 16 members. So it'll be interesting to see how this changes over time. Right, what else have we got here? Plagues doesn't really matter, but there you go, there's the plagues if you care. They're all kind of where they normally tend to spawn. Legends. There is a legend all the way over here. Guardian of the Yokakara Holy Site. We did see that one much earlier in the campaign, but not a huge number of legends. I think they made a change to legends recently. I didn't really pay attention to it because I don't really engage with the legends mechanic that much unless I'm trying to, well, basically because you have to have huge amounts of money. So unless I'm trying to conquer a lot, I don't tend to engage with it. But yeah, I think they said that they were making changes to legends so that there were less of them, but they were more impactful. I didn't really have a look into it too much though. Anyway, and that is all not going to change because that's all terrain. Wonderful. Next thing that we're going to have a look at is Miyako. So, that says that there are so it's 97 house relations. So, faithful with Hoki, which we're kind of expecting will be there. And then you can see most of the other ones. I'll scroll through it, just in case we got anything. We have a lot of cordial relations, a few quarreling. But yeah, they're kind of sitting in those neutral or one up, one down levels. There's only one that's actually faithful. Yeah. Are there any that are above cordial other than that? No. Cordial. Oh, we have friendly. With Takaoka. Ah, but that's a Miyako Dynasty one. So I'm assuming they start higher. Yeah, probably. Faithful with Obata. Oh, okay, who's Obata? I have no idea who this guy is. See, wonder if they're in my block. No, I have no idea who Obata is. But okay, then we're faithful with them. Just go up from here till we get to Obata. Oh, we're faithful with Yoshino as well. Huh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, it says that there are 48 living members of our house. So I guess I should say Dynasty is 90, 48 house. Cool. And there are 10 houses. 10 houses. Right. So we got that there. So we have R1, Miyako. We have Takaoka, which has 0 living members, which makes the fact that we are... Oh, actually, wait, no, that's Takaoka 1. This is Takaoka 2, which is the one that we're friendly with. I just realized that we're nothing with this one, because they just disappeared at some point, I guess. Okay, then we have Takaoka 2. And we have Masuda, which we're just cordial with. Obu. Mitoya. Yamaga. Misawa. Haraishi. And then another Mitoya. Okay. They're consistent with the naming there. And then there's the living members, which we've already pretty much looked at in terms of everything. But if you're interested, we're probably pretty high on most of these ones. So we're the highest diplomacy. We are not the highest, or we're not in like this list here for the highest martial. We're also actually not in the highest list for stewardship either. What is our stewardship? It's only 11, yeah. Intrigue, we're not highest. But learning we're highest. Cool. Okay, and then we're going to have a look at our dynasty tree here. So, dynasty tree. So is Mitori first? Let me see who's first here actually for us. See, that's the wrong title. I want to look at the family titles. The family title, yeah, Mitori is the one that we want to have a look at. And this was our first one that we played as, I think. Kunisuke? Well, he's unlanded, so I assume so. No, I think we played as this guy. No, we definitely played as... yes, no, we resigned with this guy. Yes, of course, which is why he has no titles. Yeah, Sumitori. So, let's go and have a look at our dynasty tree. So there's Mitori. There's Kunisuke. There's Yoshimasa. And there's us. Okay. So it's a very, very wide tree with a few people just sitting over here all alone. Don't really know where they came from. I assume if we had a look at them, we could probably... Yeah, you can probably see that they connect to people. We just can't... well, tell how they actually got to us. Wait a second. Neither of you are... maybe they were adopted? They could be adopted. That would explain how... Well, no, then they should still have a parent who's... Yeah, I don't know how you got into our house, actually. Yeah, wait a second. Your siblings aren't of our house. Well, one of your siblings is of our house. Yeah, something weird happened here. Something very weird happened here. Wait a second. How did you get into our house? Because your father is Ishikawa, which is that one. Your mother is Kanmu, which is a different one. Yeah. And your siblings seem to just have... Like, one of them's in the same one as you, and one of them's in a completely different one. Maybe there's an event that can make people join your dynasty? That's my only thought. There must be an event. Yeah, I don't know what that event is, but there must be one. Or an event that can change your parents. One or the other. But very weird, very weird. Anyway. Doesn't make any sense UI-wise. You can see where some of these other houses start. So there's one that starts here. One that starts over here. So it kind of started mostly on this generation, which makes sense, because this is the generation where we became emperor. Or not emperor, where we became the ruling regent, the Daijo Daijin. So it makes sense that after that, a lot of these houses started to appear because we started landing people, basically. Although some of them appeared before then. Yeah, some of them appeared actually with him, but that would make sense that they appeared with him as well, because it's when we started landing people. Oh, look at that! There's a sub house of or there's a cadet branch of a cadet branch. Okay, yeah, that spins off into somewhere completely different. Cool. Okay, but there is our dynasty tree and our many children, many grandchildren. It's pretty flat. Yeah, there's not many generations, but each generation is very big. So, cool. And with that, it is time for us to observe the world. We have to decide how far we're going on the first one. How about we go 10 years? 10 years makes a lot of sense. So, let's do that. So, what we do is we go to switch character, observe, and we're just simply going to unpause. So we're looking for, well, instead of that, let's go January 1st. Let's go January 1st, 1018. Sure, let's do that. January 1st, 1018. 3, 2, 1, let's go. It is now January 1st, 1018, and not a ton has changed, except for the fact that there appears to be some kind of civil war happening in Japan. So, let's go to Japan and, well, figure out what that's all about. So, it's still a Miyako in charge, so I'm guessing that this guy was not quite as well liked as his father. So, let's go. If we have a look here, we are now Kage Kane, who is, of course, the son of Kanosuke, who was murdered by Soryo Fujiwara Toshisuke the Wrathful of the Shinmen Bushiten. So this guy. Alright. Well, that's definitely not a good way for him to have gone. When did he die? He died the 30th of October, 1007. Wait a second. He died like 20 days after after we started observing? Wow. Okay. Which means that would have happened to us had we played like another month. That's crazy. Okay. Our son is currently imprisoned by who? He's currently imprisoned by Lady Akiko of House Kamo. Okay. And what war are you in? War against the tyranny. Okay. Led by Lady Noriko of Hoki. Alright, we don't know what triggered it, but it might be that he tried to revoke something, because she was a criminal, I think, right? But, well, let's just see. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that she was a criminal at one point. Okay. And then you're losing because Air's been captured and all the other reasons. Yeah, that's definitely not good for them unless they're sieging right now. Which they do not appear to be doing. In fact, it looks like they're about to lose a siege, which means that they've probably lost the war. Okay. However, war against the tyranny is not the worst civil war to lose. Because if we have a look at war against the tyranny, if we were to surrender as this character, you would see that all it does is depose you. Now, deposing you isn't that bad in Primogenitor, because that means that our player heir, Koritaka, would be the one who takes over. So, interesting. Whose grandparent, by the way, is the current Tenno. Wow. He's got, like, House Yamato on one side, House Miyako on the other. He is firmly, yes, born into power. Right. Let's have a little look at some of the things that we wrote out that we wanted to remember, and let's see how things go here. So, first thing that I wanted to know was how many people are of our culture. Oh, actually, are we still the same religion and culture? We are. Okay. Always worth checking. There's no guarantee. So let's just reset to defaults. All. We're looking for people who are our culture. So we are at 1289, which is only 29 more than previously. Okay, that's basically nobody. Right. Wichito? Oh, okay. Wichito is at 1,700, so that's like a 360 swing. And then what we want to do is we want to see how many are Shinto. So it's 1998. So that has also gone up, but it is still a much higher percentage. Okay, cool. Next thing that I want to look up is Miyako. So I want to see how many people are Miyako. So there's 111 in the Dynasty, which is, yeah, it's not too bad. That's, yeah, that's up 21 since previously. Wait a second, how many new people are there in Izumo? There's 19 new people in Izumo? That would imply that 2 people died, but yes, interesting. Probably more than 2 died in a 10-year period, but still interesting. If we have here, we'll see that there are 58 living members of our house, and there are still 10 houses. Okay, next thing is how many people are landed. Let's have a little look in here. So I'm looking for living members who are landed. 16, which is exactly the same number as last time. Okay, let's do some development checks here. So, if we do some development checks, we're going to want to go in here and then switch to the development map mode. We're at 36, which is 2 higher than last time. Okay. Izumo is at 26, which doesn't seem possible, but it is. But I can't think of where else I would have been hovering. 26, which is 5 less than last time? Is there a disease? Must have been a disease. That's the only thing that makes sense there. And then if I do this and look for highest that we can find, 48, 51. Yep, 51 is the highest we can find, which is 5 up from last time. Okay, then we're doing block. Now block's going to be a little bit tainted because we're currently at war. Yeah, so it's like 3k less, which kind of makes sense. So about 20k. And there are 26 members. Wow, our block has gone up. 10 members. Wait a second, are we at war with a member of our block? No, Camo. But that is the person. Yeah, wait a second. No, we are at war with a member of our block. How did we get a war with a member of our block? Doesn't make. Yeah, wait a second. How did we get a war with a member of our block? How did that happen? Yeah. Weird. Very weird. It must be because a member of our block called everybody in. Like, are we against a member of our block? That must be it, right? Yeah. Okay, so because she's Miyako, she's a member of our block. So when we declare war against her, in a war against the tyranny, she, because she is the defender and we're the attacker, right? No, we're the defender. Maybe even as the attacker, she can call people in. Huh. That's weird. That's a very weird situation. I never thought about that, because the block is the house, right? So I guess you could call block members in? I'm assuming that's what that is, but I have no idea. It's kind of a weird situation to be in. Okay. Anything else that we need to look at? Also, why does he have 2 perk points on spent and no lifestyle? What's up with this? The AI has left this person in a very weird situation. Anyway, let's go in here. Let's go Conqueror. We have the same 4 Conquerors. Alright. Wait a second, he's got Seasoned Pastoralist? Wait, is that not a herder thing? Wait a second. How did he get a herder thing? Anyway, they've expanded out there. Europa land's expanded. They're completely hemmed in by Canum, and Ugra, yeah, it's expanded a little bit, but not really a lot. Okay, we'll do the map mods quickly. Faiths. Ooh, that looks like Wichita's got everything now. Yeah, all holy sites. Cool. Culture, pretty much the same as it was. Houses, it's going to be pretty much the same as it was. Hoki's there. This house is massive. Wow. Is this one guy who holds the whole thing? It is. Wow, they're consolidating power very quickly. Okay, interesting. Cool. Let's have a look at not development, not county control, although it is kind of interesting, but not that interesting in this one. It'd be interesting if you see it falling apart. Government, so this is no longer tribal, that's what I wanted to check. That's now Sorio. We have a little bit of real feudal in here, so that's tribal that's advanced into feudal. They are, wait, oh never mind. For a second there I thought they were herder, and I was like, what is happening? Why do we have a herder one that's expanding? But no. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Clan is expanding a little bit more. Looks like tribal's starting to get phased out. We're reaching that point in the game. Okay, cool. Languages. I'm not sure if Tungusic was here before, but maybe it was. Greek is pretty much, yeah, I think it's expanded a little bit. It's all pretty samey to what it was before. Land as rulers, don't need to look at that. Blocks, there's the blocks here. Hoki blocks, yeah, fairly expanded in there. There's the current plagues. And there's the current legends, which, yeah, there you go. Right, I think that's everything that we need to look at. Let's decide how far we're going this time. I think I want to see the outcome of this war. I want to see a little bit of that. So we went 10 years last time. I'm going to make things nice and easy. We're going to go to 1020 next time. So January 1st, 1020. Just because that seems like, one, it'll make numbers nice and even as we go forward. It also means that we'll be able to see the exact outcome of this war and where things have gone from here. Because, you know, there could be a lot of changes very quickly. So let's switch character, observe, and 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, it is now January 1st, 1025. You might be wondering, why is that not the date that you said it would be, and why did you say it was going to be 10 years between 1018 and 1020? Because in my head, I thought that 1018 was 1008, which is obviously ridiculous. So I decided we go to 1025, allows us to go about 7 years in the future, and it's still nice and easy for us to work out how long we should go next time. So, let's go into here, let's switch character, let's go back to Japan, and that still says Miyako, and that says Koritaka, which I think gives us the outcome of that civil war. Okay, so he's now in charge. Our father was deposed, which we would expect. Let's go and have a little look and prove that here. So if we go to title history, inherited via abdication in March, 17th of March, 1018. Okay. And then we've held it ever since. So, What's interesting about this is that this guy is probably going to be able to hold the realm together pretty well, because he's been ruling for, what, 7 years already? It's not bad. Who's he married to? Ah, someone unimportant. But yeah, he's been ruling for 7 years already. He does have an alliance. We still have our block. I mean, I think that as long as people don't absolutely hate him, which they probably won't. I mean, they'll hate that he's callous, but apart from that, he's forgiving, he's trusting. Opinion of vassals is up a lot with that one. That also gives you minority vassal opinion, and there are people who naturally dislike you. I think that there's a chance that this ruler just happily carries on with his life without anything really going wrong with him. Although I would like it if we could have lifestyle traits, but I think that's because he's 16, not because of anything else. When was he born? Okay, so a June birthday. So it's been about 6 months without him having a lifestyle, but yeah, I don't know why it doesn't have a lifestyle. That's kind of weird. Anyway, maybe the AI assigns things differently. So, with that in mind, let's have a little look around and see what's changed. Let's do Conquerors first. It's the same 4 Conquerors. I did notice that they're now the Shiweis. It's not just like his Shiwei thing. It's now the Shiweis. Okay, but they're pretty much mostly the same. We have Mali over here. Actually, Mali's new. Wait a second, it was Sal before, and now it's Mali. Oh, it's Sal as well, actually. And Yorubaland. And now we also have Mali. So there's a ton of conquerors down here. And then, yeah, Ukraine has completely and utterly fallen apart. Okay then. Fair enough. Let's have a look at some of our other stuff. So, I want to reset to defaults. We want to go all. We want to go culture Izumo. So, 1387. Okay. 1387 is a big jump. That's like 100 more people than there was. Okay. That's pretty good. Then we're going to go down here. We're going to go Wichito. 1914 for Wichito. 1914 out of how many Shintoism ones? Yeah, so there's still about 200 people. So it's actually the same number previously. There's just a lot more Wichito now. Interesting. Next one is how many people are part of the Mayako dynasty? 116, which is only 5 more than last time. So there's a huge number more people, but only 5 more people in the Miyako dynasty. Huh. That's not a positive trend, I would say. Okay. There's 37 living members of the house. The house has gone down significantly, but there was just a war, so it's gone down by 21 people. And there are now 16 houses. Okay, let's have a look at some of our new houses. So, we should be the top 5, actually. Yeah, so there's founded by. So we have Misawa, founded by this person. Is he landed? He is. Okay, that makes perfect sense. We have... Oh, wait, it moved these 2 around. They were founded at the same time, maybe? Or maybe I'm going crazy. We have this one. Another landed person. Alright. We have Akazawa. Founded by this person. Yes, again, another landed person. Ogata. Yep, yet another one. And then finally we have Kodama, which is, unsurprisingly, a double landed. Ooh. Oh, and this is the person who inherited Hoki from Noriko. Oh, okay. Interesting. So yeah, basically new houses created because there were people who were landed and they didn't want to be part of the previous house. Makes perfect sense to me. How many people are landed now, actually? Here. Oh, 16. So there's the exact same number of people landed, it's just that they created their own houses now. Wait a second, we have 16 people landed, we have 16 houses. Makes perfect sense to me. Okay. Cool. Let's do our development check-in. So development, we're at... Let me zoom into Izumo. We're at 26, which is... the exact amount it was at before. We were at 37 here. We're at 36 here. We're now at 37 here. Okay. And then the highest, I'm assuming, is still going to be this one. Oh, it's gone down. It's at 50. Oh, one's dropped one. Although there are events that make them drop, so that makes perfect sense as well. So that'll be 50. Specifically, there are events there that make it drop. Right. They're in the Byzantine one. Although I think they might be generic events. You just see them more often there. Okay, and then we're doing a block check. Block should be much bigger in terms of number of members. So we're at 31,000. So actually, in terms of number of troops as well, it's bigger. 31k, and then it's at 34 members. That's weird. Actually, I guess that means we lost one. There was somebody here who was negative. Oh, it was Camel who was negative previously, but yeah, I guess somebody left the block because I'm assuming that all 5 of the new houses should be part of the block. So, yeah, cool. Okay, and now it's time to do a little looking around here. So, Wichita, still the primary religion, not spread too much. We only went 7 years, so there we go. Culture, pretty much the same. Houses, see these guys are pretty much the same, but they are definitely cementing themselves there. Done a look at development, control. You can kind of see where people have low control, but that's because that's recently conquered land, so that makes a lot of sense, or recently-ish. Economy all looks roughly the same to me, although this looks like it might be making a little bit more, although I think that was the exact same number when I hovered over it. So maybe not. Court languages seems much the same, although High German's actually had a little bit of a drop. We now have Czech Slovian here and Diol Vulgar here, taking up a huge amount of that land over there, but nothing really affecting Japan. There's the blocks again, fairly straightforward, nothing crazy. Legs, nothing looks like it's gonna come over here just yet. And legends. Oh, the legends actually faded. Huh. Interesting. I think legends faded there a little bit. At least the bonuses from it have. Okay. Cool. Right, so we didn't go very far on that one, but I think that this guy is going to be very, very secure. So what I'm going to do is we're actually going to jump significantly forward this time. We're now going to jump to January 1st, 1050. And yeah, we'll see what kind of stuff changes there. So that's going to mean that this person is going to be 41 years old. So we should be able to see where he's going to go. We should be able to see whether any inheritable traits actually reappear, because they're all completely gone from him. Wife has none as well, although Lover's Pox is slightly reducing so far, just by him, so there might be a chance that the children don't get Lover's Pox. Small chance, because I assume that the moment that things happen there, he's gonna get it. But you know, there's a small. Although actually, yeah, there's probably a high chance it inherits from her anyway. So who knows? Who knows? Anyway, we're gonna see how things go with that. Also, he has a lot of siblings who are gonna come of age in the next 25 years. So there's a chance that the Miyako house actually expands a lot, which would be very interesting. Anyway, let's just move us here and then go switch character. We're then going to go to observe. And 3, 2, 1, let's go. It is now the 1st of January 1050, and if my eyes don't deceive me, there has been actual expansion done. I was wondering whether we were going to have any, but Wait a second, wait a second. There are 2 bits of actual expansion done? Ho ho ho. Let's have a look at that. So, Japan. Let's go in here. Kuretake is 51, and he's currently gone somewhere. Where did he go? He's on a trip somewhere. He went to a coronation. Yeah. Did see that we have a proper China now. In Shia. Okay. Well, let's have a little bit of a look around at what we got. So, what happened up here? How did you get this land? So, it was conquered. Alright. Well, good for you. How about this land? How did you get that? Is that a duchy or is that just... That's just a couple of pieces of land. Which you hold directly, actually. Point it. Wait. It says that that is Japan. Wait a second. So you were the liege. So how did you... Guess we must have conquered something that allowed us to get that land as well. We hold this land directly. Conquered. Okay. Actually, pretty early on we conquered that land. Interesting. And then this is part of a duchy. Do we have the duchy? No, not at all. Okay. Weird. Well, a couple bits of land expanded. That's good. Let's have a look at some other stuff. So, let's start with a new thing I'm adding to my list of things to do. So we're going to go top realm. We're going to have a look for witches. We're going to add this in for the next couple. So witches, we have 20 witches. Okay. Okay. 20 witches. Fair enough. And now we can get back to our regular scheduled. Let's have a look in here and see what things are at. So Azumo. Ooh, dropped. Wait. Yes, dropped quite a lot. Never mind. No, I actually went up. Never mind. I looked at the wrong number. It's gone up by about 100. Yep. Okay, fair enough. Never mind. Wichito? Wichito has gone up by about 400. That kind of lines up with previous things. And then Shinto? Wait a second. Yeah, so it's getting a little closer. It's like, it's just a little closer than it was, but yeah. Still a reasonable gap, but as in like that gap has stayed kind of consistent. It's lowering, but it's kind of consistent. Next, how many people are in our Dynasty? 162. Ooh. That's a big increase. That's almost 50% increase. Let's have a look at our house here. So our house... Also, I'm just interested. Still faithful with Hoki. Okay. Our house has gone up to 43 living members. Okay. So that's up by 6. And there are now 17 houses. So that is up by 1. So what is the new house? The new house is the Hotta house. Which holds what land? Holds this land right here. Oh, okay. I don't know if we gave that one away. I think that might be new land. Let's have a look. So that... Oh no, we definitely granted that to him. Oh, okay then. Well, there you go. Then 1016 it was done. So actually that should have existed in the previous one. Did I not look at how... Maybe I didn't look at what houses were new in the previous one. Yeah. Okay, let me go back into that. Houses... Oh, definitely says founded in 1026. Anyway, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Fine. Well, because it was saying that his parent is also a member of that house. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. Well, the house, he died in 1008. So, how could he be a member of a house which was created after he died? I don't know. Maybe it automatically converts the parent or something if the parent was not the house head or something. I don't know. Anyway, essentially, it happened and it's there, so let's deal with it. Next, how many members are landed? We are at, same check, 18. Ooh, okay, 2 more landed members. That's the first time it's changed. Let's do some development checks. So we are at 43 in the capital, which is 6 up from previously. Izuma was at 28, so it's 2 up from previously. Still down from its original number. And the highest we can find, that's still sitting at 49. That was the same last time. 47? Okay, I guess 49 is the highest. Yeah, 49 is the highest I've... Oh, 57. Never mind. Okay. 57 is the highest that we found here. Just to give you some context. And then our block. Our block should have at least 1 more member. 39. That is an increase of 5 to our block. And then troops are 36k. So 5k more. Cool. Okay. It's not too bad. Let's have a look at religion. So Wichita is not really spreading. I guess that's to be expected, right? Because our culture isn't really spreading either, and it's easier to spread our religion where our culture is. Shinto, I think, is maybe... I don't know. I want to say it's maybe decreasing, but maybe it's not. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. Oh, we have some Wichita up here. We may always have had that, but I just didn't notice it. Okay. Cultures, again, it's not really going anywhere. Houses? Ooh, they've expanded even further. Yeah. This house of the Fujiwara dynasty is even further expanded. It's not that strong, but it holds a lot of land. Okay. County control. Yeah, you can see this is the new land they conquered, so it's got slightly lower control. Hope I'm right on that one. Economy map mode? Is it just me, or is there less bright lights than there used to be? Oh. Anyway, might have a look at plagues in a second, and maybe that'll tell us why. So Soryo's up here, there's a little Soryo there, and then this is Meritocratic held by Soryo. Okay, real feudal exists over here. There's feudal up here as well. How did feudal get in here? Wait, yeah, I'm kind of interested. How did feudal get in here? Because that was celestial previously. So who's actually holding that? This guy is. Does he hold any other lands? I don't think so. Yeah, that's celestial. Yeah, there's a couple of feudal ones in there. Huh. Weird. Okay. Cool. Anything else going on with governments? Yeah, you can see feudal starting to eat tribal and clans eating tribal down here. Makes perfect sense. We're just hitting that point in the game. Port languages. Still speak Japonic, as does that. Chinese is spread a little bit down here. I thought there was more Chinese up here at some point, but might be less courts. We have the Mongols, but not the Mongols as you know them. Just the normal ones. They're not the Mongol horde. Greek, kind of where it was before. High Germans taking control a little bit. France exists again. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Blocks and confederations. So there's the Hoki block and the Miyako block basically being the 2 biggest blocks in this area. Plagues? I was kind of expecting to see one, but I don't know. Or maybe the Silk Road. Maybe the Silk Road's why I think that the economy thing looks like it's less bright, because it was usually goes through there, right? So if the Silk Road phase changed, that would make a lot of sense, actually. Okay. The legend is completely gone there. Alright. At least the bonuses are. And yeah, that's it. Cool. So Japan actually expanded. I was wondering if we were going to get to the end of this and I was going to be like, well, nothing happened. Because it was really interesting when we played as China and we saw all the changes happen when we did the time lapse then. But doing the time lapse here, I was kind of like, come on, do something. You know? Absolutely nothing was happening. But it did. And you know what? What if we gave him like another, 50 years? Let's go to January 1st 1100. Because, yeah, that'll probably give us a rough idea about what Japan was going to be doing. It will let us see the next succession, and I think that might be the one that we end it on. It will also mean that we were past the next start date of 1066, so we can compare our start basically to how things look in 1066 and go, well, what's different? So let's go into observe mode one more time, and a 3, a 2, a 1, let's go. It is now the 1st of January, 1100, and in case you're wondering, real time to get to this point, it has been an hour and a half, as in from the start of the video to the end of, or to this part of the video. So, yeah, it takes a while to run through 50 years, but we have now done it, and it is time to see if everything is, well, as we left it. What I can tell you is, oh, never mind! I was going to say Japan hasn't expanded that much, but look at that, it has. Okay, looks like we still have lover's pox, huh? Let's go in here. This is Miyako. So the previous one, oh, we've had a couple of characters. Okay, let's do a little bit of this. So we had you, who was the first one that we saw there, so succumbed to fatal apoplexy. Then Koritaka was killed in a duel in 1062. Then Tadayori inherited. He died of old age. And then this person inherited. Okay. If I go back through the generations here. Tadayori. There. And then back another one. There's the character that we left off with. Okay. Cool. Hunter trait, but nothing else actually. Yeah, he's very kind of just bog standard character, although he's zealous, so there is a chance that some religion stuff will have happened if they try to convert, but let's have a look around and see. One thing I do want to look at as well, before we look at anything else, I just want to see what happened to our acclaimed things. Oh, the Serpent of Hinan Kyo, and then nothing else. There are no inactive accolades. And there's one that we didn't create. Wonderful. Alright, good. That definitely, yeah, it's definitely interesting. How's our estate looking as well? Oh, it's fully upgraded. You know it. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at witches. So I want to see how many witches there are in the world. Looking for witch, and then before I do anything else, let's do that. Actually, not in the world, only in top realm. 18. So, despite it being a virtue, the number of witches has gone down by 2. Huh. So it turns out it being a virtue doesn't actually help it spread at all, despite the idea that it should be more common. Huh. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, clear this. Let's go to all, and let's go through some of the things we look at. So, culture. We have 1631. 1631, which is 122 more than last time. Okay, cool. Then we have Wichito, which is significantly higher, I think. Yes, yeah, so that is spreading a lot quicker than our culture is. So that is now about 600 higher. Now let's have a look at normal Shinto. That's actually almost, yeah, it's almost exactly the same gap. So the number of Shinto people who aren't Wichito has stayed pretty much identical through our entire almost 100 years, like 93 years worth of time. Okay, interesting. Let's do Miyako. So this is the Dynasty. We are now at 222, which is 60 more than previously. Go in here, and we are at 52 living members of the house. Okay, so 52 in the house. This is now... Wow. It's still lower than it was in 1018, which was the highest it's been. Huh. Okay, so our house hasn't really bounced back since those wars. But there are a lot more houses now, so... What was the previous one? It was 1050. So yeah, now there are 4 more houses. So we have Matsudarai. We have Oseong. So I'm assuming that I was wondering whether their culture was different, but it might be because of the name of the land that they hold. Yes, they're named after the land, so they must hold land in Korea. Ah, okay. Seno, and then Kataoka. Okay, cool. So we gave away some of the land to, some of the new Korean land there, so that's 21. How many landed people do we have in our house? Oh, it's still got the certain thing on it, right? 21. Yep. Okay, well that seems to line up pretty much with what we thought it was. Create a new one each time to get landed. So our capital is now 57. Which is 14 higher than it was. No. No, it is 14 higher than it was last time. Okay. But this one is sitting at 30. Which is still not where we started. So we started with this one at 31, but it's never bounced back. Okay, 57. Let's have a look at some of these other ones in here. 61. Yeah, let's just seeing what else we got here. 61. So our capital is now kind of keeping pace with the really, really high development holdings. So that's what I wanted to check. That's why I kept checking in with them, because I was like, oh, actually, we got 65 down here. Wow, what's going on with this one? Oh, I see what's going on with this one. My God. How many buildings does one place need? Okay, so actually it's now 67. What was that, 66? Oh, sorry, 65. 65. Okay. But still, it does show that our capital, with the buildings that we built, is keeping kind of pace with some of the higher ones on the map. So, yeah, our changes would have made a difference over time. And that's without us putting more effort into it. So over time, definitely paid off. Let's do block. Number of troops, 53,000. Okay. That's a significant increase. That is now a 17,000 increase. And there are 43 house members, so that's with only 4 more members. Alright. Okay. Let's have a quick look at something. So this, I think, just from brief glance, that Wichita might have spread slightly more. Did it spread over here? No, not at all, actually. I think it might have spread to 1 or 2 more. I'm not entirely sure. I think that Shinto is maybe in less, but again, I think I said that last time, and I'm still not 100% sure. Izumo's definitely expanded a little bit. I think it's on maybe one more here. Unless, again, I'm hallucinating. Houses. Ooh. This one's split up a lot. Is this a spin-off of Fujiwara? Yeah. So that one's a spin-off of probably of that one there. So yeah, I think it kind of split up a little bit. Yeah. That's the Togo block now. So, but there is still a Hoki block. Interesting. Let's go in here. Looked at development. County control. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we can see there's not a lot of control over there. Is there some kind of major event happening? I can't see any any earthquakes or anything. But anyway. Yeah, there's that. Economy. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of recovered. So yeah, I think it might be in the Silk Road thing happening there. Well, down here, definitely very, very, very rich and very, very, very high in development. Okay, cool. Next one, we're going to have a look at languages. Hey, our languages spread a little bit because we now hold that land. Chinese is spread a lot. Yeah, so it's now fully in control of this side of the map. Arabic's fully over here. Also, Arabian Empire formed. That's kind of unusual that it... well, actually, no, it's usually it's usually called Abbasids, but now it's specifically called Arabian Empire. Oh, and they're a conqueror. Oh, okay. But yeah, they've actually expanded and thrived, which usually doesn't happen in my games, but yeah, they have in this one, but I guess being a conqueror probably helped them. Greek, High German is taken over back here again, but the rest of it's much the same. Next, we have blocks and confederations. So this is now the Togo block. So that used to be the Unonariu block, but now it's the Togo block, but that just means that it switched whoever is in charge of it. That's not that crazy. Just means somebody else was able to push themselves in charge. Hoki block still exists and then Miyako block exists. Okay. Yeah, nothing's really happening with plagues. Legends, nothing new in Japan. Lot down here, but you know why there's a lot down here? Let me show you another map mode. That's why there's a lot down here. Because they actually have money to fund the legends. So, there you have it. Right, anything else? Nope, let's do a quick conqueror check at the end. I think those guys are probably conquerors as well. Let's have a look. So, we have Arabian Empire, we have these guys. Down here, still conquerors. We have them as a conqueror. Was the Arabian Empire... No, I was wondering whether they were double-sized at one point and this is them split in half. But no, they just happen to be two conquerors next to each other. These guys are conquerors and then Mali's a conqueror. So these guys aren't conquerors, they're just big. Huh. Or at least they're a brighter color and it makes them look bigger. Okay. Anything else that we need to have a look at here? Nothing urgently. Let's have a look at this, the Dynasty tree. So, where are we? So that's Yoshimasa, Inosuke, Mittori. So this is now our dynasty. Down like, what, 8 generations? Plus a bunch of people at the side who somehow regenerated into our house. Alright. Yeah, again, it's still not a lot of generations, but ton of children per generation, which is what happens when you have multiple spouses, basically. But yeah, it's actually a fairly straightforward line, right? It went down here to Koritaka, then to you, then to you. So, like, the line that we followed is basically this. Just, you know, fairly straightforward. Yeah. Not quite father to first son, but pretty much father to first son most of the time. Alright, cool. And yeah, it didn't really expand very much, but did expand a little bit. So basically, I think what would have happened if we went like another 100 years maybe, is we'd see Japan start to secure Korea very, very, very slowly. Maybe secure some of this land. But yeah, no massive expansions. I guess it's probably because the culture doesn't have any CBs that give them a massive like expansion apart from Holy War. And the Holy War tends to get more difficult the further you get next to big nations. So we have a look here, like Holy War in this area, you're gonna run into all of them. Wait, you're Shinto? Wait, you're Shinto? Huh. How did you become Shinto? When did you become Shinto? Yeah, you were Tengri, Shinto. Did you marry? Oh yeah, so you were Shinto. Neither of your parents were, so this person just randomly became Shinto for some reason. And then educated their child to be Shinto, who then educated this person to be Shinto. Huh. Oh, that's conquered by populist revolt. Never mind. Wait a second. So these are unconnected. He became Shinto because the land was Shinto. So actually, it's just that she got educated as Shinto. Populist revolt, in fact, he was probably generated as Shinto because he was generated because of the culture of the land. So Shinto itself, actually, in terms of land area, almost does as much as Wichito. It's just that it's all over here. Huh. Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. So that explains why Shinto was expanding, was at least staying on pace while Wichito was taking over land. It's because there's more than one Shinto place. Huh. Anyway, but as I was saying, like, if you start declaring holy wars over here, you would very, very quickly run into issues. So, yeah, probably a lot of these have just been single county conquest wars, or claims, or whatever. So, yeah, it can be pretty slow going if you're doing that, especially if you're the AI who's a little bit more cautious. But yeah. That probably means actually that your realm is more stable though, because you're not taking more land than you can cope with. So, yeah, interesting. But yeah, very, very much just stays where it is. Like other nations, when you take them over, start to expand rapidly or fall apart completely. Japan, actually very, very, very stable and very slow expansion. Okay. That makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to end the series and the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. There was not a major patch from Paradox this week. There was no dev diary that I saw this week, although I was away, so maybe I missed it, but no dev diary, no massive patch. From previous times, I think I've seen that they usually they've done the previous DLC in March. If they do a DLC, so that leaves us like a month. I'm leaning towards seeing if there's a mod for the next series, like seeing if there's a mod that's updated, and then playing a little bit in that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's actually updated for a relatively recent patch, because I'd like to play ideally on a All Under Heaven patch, because I want to see what modders do with it. But yeah, if there isn't anything, we may play a campaign down here and try out some of this religion stuff down here. We may do something else. I haven't fully decided. If you have an idea, let me know. No guarantee that I'll do it, but it might spark something for me. New series will start with whatever we've decided on Monday. So, weekend off, new series Monday, and it'll be the same time that the episodes usually go out. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.